Dan, they continue to roll. What's the single biggest reason why the Saints are so good? You could point to so many things, but to you, what?
Yeah, and we point to Kamara and Mike Thomas and Brees, and we should, but it's the offensive line, guys. I mean, and I said that a couple weeks ago, the investment of the first-round picks with Pete and Ramczyk have paid off. And then we talk about elite quarterbacks, right? And what is a defining characteristic of elite quarterbacks? They make everybody around them better. We are watching that with Drew Brees. He is throwing to guys that Kirkwood, I didn't even know, and that's not disrespectful. I didn't even know who the guy was till last night, but he has a career night. Traquan Smith, a couple weeks ago, he's not having the rookie year everybody wants him to. Now he's balling. And so you're watching what elite quarterback play looks like. Brees making kind of run-of-the-mill guys look like Pro Bowl players because he's such a special quarterback.
Hey, Dan, you know what? Here's something that's lost and everything. Drew Brees is breaking records every week now for career records. Well, how about the records that he's due to make this year? How about completion percentage, TD to interception ratio, and, by the way, passer rating? Are you kidding me? So he's leading. We go, who's the MVP? Well, it should be a slam dunk, Drew Brees, but nobody talks about this. Yeah. Like, it's amazing. Oh, and by the way, they have the two best, the combination of Ingram and Kamara running the football, and it all starts up front with that offensive line. It is just fun to watch, and without question, this team looks like the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, right now, I don't think there's any doubt they are the best team in the NFL at this moment. Let me take it to the other side then, if I can, because those are the defending Super Bowl champions that we watched on the field with them yesterday. And the way the division is shaping out right now in the NFC East, maybe it isn't really over for the Eagles, but it just isn't. I mean, at the end of the day, the division lead just isn't far enough away for them to give up. But what's wrong with Philadelphia?
Well, last year, listen, in the NFL, usually the teams that are good at the end of the year are the teams that are healthy, and the teams that are struggling are the teams that get beat up. And last year was such an anomaly. It was the lightning in a bottle because they had so many injuries, and somehow they overcame those injuries. This year, they're not. And that's the norm in the NFL, is not overcoming those injuries. People are talking about, man, they missed DeFilippo and they missed Frank Reich. Sure. Doug Peterson didn't forget how to coach football, guys. Like, it just didn't happen. They're just not able to overcome those injuries right now, and the talent has been depleted. They're still in it somehow, Greeny, because of Carson Wentz, and can they make a play here or there? But I just don't see them overcoming the injuries.
Well, Dan, you mentioned, losing Frank Reich. That's the guy. Because look what he's done to the Colts. By the way, that team hadn't given up a sack in 5 weeks. He is, when you don't just replace great coordinators. I mean, that's something that, just throw it out. No, this team clearly misses Frank Reich. Clearly misses them.
They're playing too much man on defense with their backup corners.
And they don't switch anything. Like, it drives me crazy. And in this plan, all they did was double Kamara and Michael Thomas. They still gave up touchdown passes to those guys. They can't stop the run. This front is not playing good. And you know what? Excuses, nobody wants to hear. Everybody goes through injuries. And so, but that defense, you're right, this is not playing at a championship level.
No, it's a colossal disappointment right now for the Eagles. Again, that's a division where the people who root for the Giants think their team is back in it. However,
I got a text from a buddy this morning saying the Giants are still alive.
So you can't rule them out, but you saw Hembo's stat. The Eagles have the toughest remaining schedule in the National Football League. If they're going to get back to the playoffs, they're going to earn it in a big way.